Hey everybody, I'm Karyn Bryant for MMA Heat, talking with Ashley Yoder, who is facing ABC Amanda Bobby Cooper in the featured prelim at UFC Denver. It's been a while since I've seen you, Ashley, but you look like you're just on vacation mode, not even in weight cut mode or anything like that. How are you?
Is it because my hair is crazy? That's not nice. No,
No, it looks. Oh, please, coming from me. Yeah, okay, that's it.
You're, yours is really nice. No, I'm chilling right now. We did all this stuff in the morning when it was time to check in. So the weight's really good. So right now, I've been in Denver for almost 3 weeks now. So I've been getting acclimated and training out here at 303 with JJ Aldrich and Rose, of course, and all their team. So it's been really nice.
Cool. Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that because obviously, anytime somebody gets an assignment to fight in Denver, it means a lot of things. So you just said it there. So you spent about 3 weeks because usually everybody knows you're a Team Quest girl. So what led to you going out there to train with JJ and Rose?
So JJ's one of my best friends. From Tough. We were bunkmates, and we've
Yeah.
just, really gotten close over the years. So I've come out here one time before when she was fighting Danielle Taylor, just for like a weekend, just to
Yeah.
kind of help her out or whatever, and come visit her. And I got the altitude sickness, I believe. So I was like, as soon as I Denver, I was like, JJ, I'm coming out as early as possible. So
Right.
it wasn't hard, knowing that I'm comfortable with her and her team, but it was really hard leaving Team Quest for sure.
Yeah, I would think it's funny because my husband's actually from outside of Denver, so I've been there a lot, and I do know that. There you are. Okay, I do know that. Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone.
it's okay. It can be a real thing, but for people who've never been there to get acclimated, like whenever I go to Denver, I'm always like, my skin is drying out. I'm aging like 10 days and every day, and I'm covered in lotion and everything. But it really does take a number on your lungs. So obviously, with that in mind, I'm guessing you feel like you can push the pace with Amanda, who has not been training at high altitude.
Yeah, even before I came out here, I was so worried because I was I suffered the first time I was out here. I was doing a little bit of CVAC training 3 times a week. If you don't know what that is, I'm sure you probably know what
Yeah.
it is, but just, changing the climate, going the altitude all the way up to almost 24,000 feet at times.
Okay.
And during that process, it's an hour long, so it's like 20-minute sessions, but you stay in it for an hour. And I got super, super sick one day
Oh,
because I wasn't really they say numbers to you and you don't really realize, but
right.
apparently during my training, I got altitude sickness. So I got that out of the way, thank God. But yeah, it's just a real thing, and if you're not ready for it, it will freak you out. You think
Yeah.
you're ready for a fight, and
Yo, it
you're opening the can.
Yeah, no, it's real. And the thing too, I want to talk about this matchup because, as you mentioned, you were on the Ultimate Fighter, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but to those who don't know, Amanda was on the same season. So, how familiar are you with her game? Obviously, since you've had time since then to watch her other fights, but how familiar are you since you guys spent so much time together in the house?
Well, we were all really cool in the house. You knew this, that you being like the number one girl for the show, like you pretty much knew all the insides of it. But, her being on the other team, I never got to train with her fight. So, the advantage of that, I guess, is there. But
Right.
we were all really cool. I was cool with her, and still am, with everybody. We do have to fight. That's a job. So I have nothing personally against Amanda, but I think it's a good matchup for me. She's a striker, of course. She does have some ground, so you have to be careful with that. But I think stylistically wise, we're gonna make a good fight because we both like to fight. So
Yeah.
it should get pretty bloody.
Absolutely. Well, and it's funny because if somebody was asking, I think people have asked me like to describe your fighting style. I'm like, well, you just can't get rid of her. I'm like, Ashley, she's going to be there. She's going to be there and she's going to be there. And you're just not going to get rid of her very easily. She may not win, but she's going to give you a hell of a time, even if she doesn't. So I do feel, though, that you are great on the ground in terms of never giving up. I feel like you have a great drive when you are on the ground. And I feel like you are constantly working for something. And I feel like you stay busy. So do you feel like in this fight with Amanda, who is more primarily a striker, like that's where you could have an advantage and maybe you could win the fight there because she has been submitted before?
Yeah, that is something you have to think about. So I have definitely really worked on my NoGi. I think a problem in my past is even for fights all the way up to Mackenzie, you know, knowing she's a high-level black belt, I always trained with my gi on. Like, I'm a gi girl, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, it definitely has its disadvantages. And I think this camp, we got signed at this fight at like 12 weeks, I think, 13 weeks, something ridiculously long. So I did a lot of no gi. So I feel way more confident without a gi on. And then, you know, also my reach, you know, I just feel like you're right. Like, you know, the thing with me, and it's hard for me to even explain my style, is, you know, I like to fight. I don't have a background, and I'm not going to stop. So, you know, that a lot of people get hard times to kind of like prepare for me, because I don't even know what I do. Like, I'll come out and front kick you. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, it's crazy. We talk about this all the time. I'm like, good luck. If you want to study me, please let me know what I do, because I have like. So, no, that's you know, the advantage of being an MMA fighter. You don't know what's going to happen. So we have all these arsenals in our, you know, in our closet that we could both use. So I think it's going to make for a really interesting fight for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. It's the featured prelim, and it is at the 25th anniversary show. I spoke to ABC the other day too and asked her about this, but what does that mean to you? Because, you know, the featured prelim spot for us on FS1 is something that we promote a lot. It's a really great spot for the fighters there. They get a lot of attention, and it seems like they've entrusted you. You know, you usually don't put scrubs in that position, so it feels like they know that you two can deliver a fight of the night type of thing. Did you take that into consideration when you realized where you were on the card?
You know what's really funny, Karyn, is all three of my last three fights have been the same slot. So hopefully, you know, but it's a different game this time around. I'm extremely excited to be on this 25th anniversary card. One, because you know my coach, like, you know, Dan's made so much history for, you know, the UFC, for MMA, and it's kind of feels like I get to like kind of do an extension on that. So it's really exciting to be a part of something so big, because if you know, UFC 139 is when Dan knocked out Shogun the second time. Yeah. And last time Dan was in Denver, he won, and he knocked out Nate Marquardt, or he won against Nate Marquardt. So, you know, there's been good things that are coming around this way that, you know, anything can happen in that fight, but it's just some stuff that makes you feel good, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, well, and what was that like? Because Dan and Shogun were inducted for the fight, which is my favorite fight of all time. You know, I was at that fight, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. And I've told people this story, but when you're in the media, you know, you're not supposed to root for anybody, and it's Dan and Shogun, like two of the greatest legends. So even if you weren't rooting for one particular person, like, you wanted to react. That fight was so amazing, and we're not allowed to react. And I sat there like this, screaming into my hands, because I was like, well, they can't really tell if I'm yelling or doing anything. And I sat there going, oh my God. And I just kept freaking out. And somebody actually sent me at one point a picture that they took of me, like freaking out at that, because I just love Dan so much. I love Shogun. That fight is amazing. But when you guys in the gym heard that Dan was getting inducted, and when you saw him, like, what was that whole thing like for you guys?
It was super, super exciting. You know, Dan, he doesn't really get like any certain way about something, but you know, I think he was really blessed to be honored with that. It's just kind of funny how he takes it kind of like so mellow. We're like, oh my God, you're a Hall of Famer. You know, like, he definitely deserves much more than just a fight for the Hall of Fame. But, you know, it's a great start, and there's always time for that. So it was really cool to be a part of it. I've been with the Team Quest for going, you know, my 7th year anniversary was in July. So I've been there from day one. So it's cool to see, like, the coaches and the guys you look up to doing so well, like him, Sam. So Tarek, we have Tarek Safadine back at the gym. So it's just a blessing, and I'm really excited to be able to be an extension of that. So
well, that said, it is such a great gym, but what do you think you gained by spending time with Rose, spending time with JJ? I mean, obviously everybody knows Rose is the champion, and so when you're getting reps in and when you have time to train with the champion, I'm wondering, did that add anything to your game, even just mentally or physically?
Yeah, you know, the cool thing about 303, JJ, Rose, Pat, Mike, all of the team here is they're very vocal, and they're very supportive. So, you know, from the day I got here, I had no expectations. I knew JJ would take me in. She's one of my best friends. I knew she would, you know, give me rounds, and I was just hoping that, you know, I would be able to get some rounds with other girls too, because they have some girls out here.
Yeah.
But, you know, they really took me in. They brought me to Onyx to go see, you know, Trevor Whitman was talking about my last fight. I'm like, this guy knows who I am. But, you know, it's really cool. And Rose has been super supportive, you know, really just like stylistically, our jiu-jitsu is very similar. So we had so much fun rolling around, and she's just always been very positive. So they made me do an ice bath at their house and these hill sprints. I think they were trying to like initiate me.
Yeah.
So I passed the test, but it's been fun and rough on my body.
Yeah, I can bet.
So
I bet.
Different too.
No, I can only imagine. I've known Pat and Rose for a long time. I've known, you know, I first met Rose a long time ago before she was even in the UFC and all that. And I know how crazy Pat is. So just remember, Ashley, you can say no every now and then to Pat if you need to.
I'm learning. I like look at JJ. I'm like, JJ, feed me an answer. And she just looks at me. I'm like, you're not helping. So yeah, it's been fun. They're so welcoming, and I cannot thank them enough for all that they've done without, you know, just out of being nice. So I really appreciate all of 303, Onyx, Rose, Pat, JJ, her husband. Everybody's been really great. So
very cool. Well, you know, one thing people are going to ask about your, you know, do kind of have your back up against the wall here. Your last fight was against Mackenzie. That was in March. It didn't go your way. You know, you and ABC both have a common opponent in Mackenzie. Was there anything that you learned about ABC in that fight that you think you can exploit going forward?
You know, I think I actually just got asked this question, but I definitely think that ABC got caught. I don't think it stylistically, technically, I don't think Mackenzie had better hands than ABC. I think ABC got caught, and you know that's what happens in fights sometimes. On my part, you know, I've had my back against the wall since I came in on a 2 weeks notice and fought Justin Kish.
Right.
You know, so I went from crazy Muay Thai champion to crazy kickboxing former Invicta champion to crazy jiu-jitsu champion. You know, I feel like no matter what, that pressure of me having my back against the wall is non-existent because it's been there since day one. So, you know, I definitely want to finish. I don't want to go to the judges. Clearly, I don't have what they want to see. So, no, I really just been working hard on just becoming a better Ashley and bringing the best for the fans. So, one thing I know that I've never disappointed in is performance. So, really hope it is another great performance.
Well, and I feel like that's part of the reason you get the short notice calls, and that's part of the reason you get, you know, booked in a featured prelim is because you do deliver.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely gives my coaches some anxiety, but I love to fight, and that's like the bottom line of it. I love putting on a performance for the fans. So, you know, but I have been really trying to tighten up my game. So hopefully that those changes will show in this fight.
Very cool. Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask before I let you get out of here is if there were, you know, you talked about training no gi as opposed to gi, but if there's one thing, maybe you don't want to give it away if it's a secret thing, but is there one element of your game that you feel you've made the most improvement in over this last camp?
You know, it's really hard to say because each time, you know, like I said, I go back to the drawing board and I work on my stand-up. I work on my transitions to takedowns. I work on my wrestling. I work on the no-gi is probably the biggest thing for me, being able to, like, transition while being, you know, not in a position where you're holding on fabric or, you know, so no-gi is a whole different game. And I'm really excited that I was able, my coach let me pretty much the whole camp go no-gi. So he's pretty strict on me usually, and I have to train gi, but he was understanding this time around, and I get to do the no-gi thing. So I'm excited to show hopefully some ground stuff too. So
nice, very nice. And you said, yeah, your weight cut is going well. As I said, you look so relaxed and you look fed still. You look hydrated. So yeah, the cut is already starting to go well for you.
Yeah, you know, I came in really light. They under 121, so nice. That's a really good sign. I know, right? And
that's fantastic.
Drinking 2 gallons of water. I know. So I've just been hanging out. Me and JJ went to the movies earlier, and now we're gonna go train a little bit. You know, sweat going. So, yeah. Hopefully that part of it is really smooth for the rest of the week. It should be. And then we get to fight. So I'm excited.
Nice. Awesome. Great. Well, enjoy. Tell them all I said hi. I know we saw JJ. She was victorious. I guess we were in Vegas or somewhere for her fight recently. Well, her last fight.
LA.
Oh, yeah, it was right here. I was like, I know I saw her recently. But yeah, that was great.
Like in my backyard.
Yeah. But really glad we were able to catch up, and really looking forward to hyping you and ABC in the featured prelim. Of course, folks can see that one on FS1 on Saturday night. So Ashley, great to see you, and best of luck.
Oh, thank you so much. Good to see you as well.
Bye.